exciting. Guy Garvey's been in to see us on the show, and Judge Rinder is coming in to see us very shortly.
They'll be sitting in the same chair.
Are you nervous?
Am I nervous?
About the judge?
Not really, no. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
What if he doesn't leave?
What do you mean?
If the judge won't budge?
If the judge won't budge, we got problems.
What?
Are you ready for him? I'll go and get him.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, go and get him now.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's lovely.
Do you think he's got a sweet tooth?
Why? What have we got?
What have you
Well,
ordered?
does the judge like fudge?
Oh, good one.
We need more of these.
Judge budge.
I've got one.
Yeah.
Budge, nudge. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, well, you just said it out loud, Dom.
Oh, go on.
Don't worry about
You
it.
do yours,
Do
Dave.
it.
I wonder how you'd ever get Rinder's attention.
Well, what do you suggest?
Well, maybe just nudge the judge.
Oh, hey!
Yeah, thank you.
And by the way, I know you know every single listener now is doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Head back going, sludge.
Yeah, I was just thinking of one for sludge, but it's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you like sludge, Judge?
Yeah.
Slugs? Slugs is a bit tenuous.
Yeah.
What else?
I wonder if Rinder's on Tinder.
Oh!
There you go. There's more on Rinder.
I'm not sure if he is.
I'm struck. I can't come up with anything.
A lot of pressure, isn't it, when you've not done one yet, and everyone else around you's...
Well, I kind of got nudge, and then I gave it to you, Dave. I gave you nudge.
You did.
He's quite an attractive man when he's not in his regalia, is the wrong word. But you
Yeah,
know
I know,
what
in his gown and everything.
Hey, do you think he's not wearing it, is he?
I hope so.
Do you think he will turn up in all that?
No, I don't think so.
I reckon he'll wear a suit.
You know they're made of horse's hair.
Are they?
The wigs that they wear. I'm almost certain.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Here he is. He's coming in. I'll ask him now. As he walks in, here he is. Here's the judge.
Hello.
Good morning.
Nice to see you all.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Judge. Good morning, by the
I
way.
heard you weren't nervous outside.
Yeah, how rude is that?
I think that's rather rude. What am I doing?
Judge, hi, I'm Chris.
Hello,
Hi.
Christopher or Chris?
Whatever you choose.
Christopher. Gosh, I heard outside you wanted to nudge the judge with fudge. Or
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
There is a mix that rhymes with judge.
Listen, these wigs that you wear, are they made of horse's hair?
They are made of horses' hair.
You
Yes.
see? I thought that.
Well, what did you think they were made of?
No, we were just trying to guess. But yeah, Chris came out with a horsehair fact.
Yeah.
It's a shame I didn't bring it, actually. I wonder what you'd look like in it.
Do you know what? I do wear a wig from time to time because we've had one made for me on this show.
What kind?
Do you know, it's very realistic, actually.
It's a good wig.
It's a good
really?
one. Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh, how charming. Yes. Do you have a wig?
I don't need a wig.
You don't, do you?
Look
No,
at me.
I suppose. No, you are. You definitely have a full head of hair.
I do.
That's happy relief, yes.
It's great. In fact, I need to get it cut.
I once went on holiday and put some carrot oil on it. I was rather fatter then. Not looking at you for any reason, Christopher. And I went terribly orange, and I put my white wig on, and I looked like one of those Oompa Loompas. Remember from the film in the
yes.
70s?
What? How fat were you? You weren't fat,
Not
were you?
super fat, no, but it was before I got involved with sort of marathons and that sort of thing.
Are you really super fit?
Yeah, I came, yes. Well, I'd say so, yeah. Are you? What do you do to work out?
I run a lot.
Oh, me too. Oh,
Yeah.
perhaps we should go running together. That would be a sight to see.
Are you quick? Are you a quick runner?
I'm quick and I shout, sort of hurry up and that sort of thing.
Who are you shouting at?
Well, if I were going with you, I'd say hurry up.
No, you what do you do running wise? What would you?
What sort of marathon?
Yeah, what? No, if you went for a run. Let's say you and I went for a run tomorrow or at the weekend.
Yes.
How far would you?
It depends where we were. I mean, I ran round the Isle of Dogs, and I ran pretty quickly, I have to tell
Well,
you.
you would, right? But what kind of speeds are you doing? Do you?
Well, I did a marathon once, very quickly, sort of sub 3 hour, actually.
Wow.
Well, yeah, but it was
Well
in
done.
Switzerland, and there were sort of video cameras, and I thought, well, I'd get on Trans World Sport. And it turned out I was running in front of the professional women, and I ended up going up the mountain, and it was single file, so I heard this large tutting from behind me, and there's a photo at about mile 13. It looks like I'm going to have a stroke. It's not a good idea. You shouldn't show off. That's what
I've
happens.
never done a marathon. I like to run. I've no interest in running a marathon. I've run half marathon.
It's
but-
completely stupid. I tell you, I was so bored during the last one. I got to the end of the London Marathon. You sort of find people there, sort of on their knees, looking upwards, saying, "Gosh, what a wonderful day. I've had such a lovely time. This has been the best day of my life." After mile 15, I was so bored.
Yeah.
And also people giving you, charming though it was, sort of dubious jelly babies halfway round, saying, "Oh, give them a sweet. It's Judge Rinder. Not them ones." You think, imagine what they've done to them. Although, thank you if you did give me a jelly baby.
Judge Robert Rinder. Here he is.
So, what does he do?
Dave and Pippa are producers of the show.
Right.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Thanks for listening to the show. I really appreciate the fact you did all your research before you came.
Yes, no, I did. I listened to you a little bit. No, I did. I really did. And we have a mutual respect for. So I'm a big Howard Stern fan.
Oh, you love Howard.
You're the greatest, I think. Yeah.
Now that would be an interesting interview.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I think he's extraordinary because he demands authenticity from everybody who comes on. And I think the recent interviews especially have been really good, especially the political ones.
He's an incredible interviewer.
Yeah, really amazing. Really amazing.
So I was doing my research about you last night. I sat at home on my computer. You almost
computer and Googled me.
You almost don't exist.
I do exist.
There's not a lot out there about you and everything that, because I pride myself on trying to find stuff for guests.
How long do you spend on the internet? And is that all you look for?
All last evening.
Oh, right.
I researched you and our other guest.
Right.
That's all I look for. That's all there is on the internet is information, right?
Yes, I'm sure that's true. I once advanced that on behalf of a rather dubious client.
You are a barrister?
That's right, yeah, for quite a long time, yeah, about 15 or 16 years.
And you specialised in fraud and money laundering?
Money laundering, fraud, but I used to do lots of famous criminal cases as well, murders and that sort of thing, not myself.
See, now that, to me, is really interesting. Fraud, money laundering and big high-profile cases. How then do you end up on TV with two chavs arguing over a DVD player?
They're not chavs.
A lot of them
people.
are.
No, they're not. We have a whole variety of people that come on. They're not necessarily chavs at all. I'm not like the Chief Justice of Chav. We deal with all sorts of cases. Well, the answer was I was actually part of a team prosecuting a case abroad. It's still actually on trial. It was a small island called the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Right.
When I was appointed, I didn't really know what it was. I'd only heard of the Turks and Caicos Islands because Miss World, there was always Miss Turks and Caicos before they appointed me there. But the government at the time was suspended for corruption. We recolonized the place, and I ended up being part of the team prosecuting the ex-Prime Minister. And, like you have plenty of time in the evening to do nothing but trawl the internet for research purposes. And similarly, I, in my spare time, wrote scripts, and I went to bring back this sort of television show from the 1970s, went to ITV. Turned out I was meeting, I didn't know who she was, but it turned out to be the head of something very important, Helen Warner, and she said, you'd be much better doing this. And then fast forward, she put it on telly. And, I think if you're doing a very serious job as I was, unless you absolutely passionately love it, then it's time to give up, don't you think? Or you're not happy in your situation, time to do something else. So
I think you're right.
That's what happened, really.
What a palaver for IT. Well, we can't do anything for you. And I go, thanks. No problem, bye.
Get lost. Or we would like to have you. The difficulty is you're going to
I could have been the new Kardashian.
You could have been. Would you have I know who that is, by the way. I was really mildly nervous before coming in because I'm not good on what happened after 1899. Right. But sort of things seep in from time. So I know how the Kardashians are. Do you have have you got sort of a Kardashian bottom?
Me?
Yeah.
I've got, for a formerly large man, I've got quite a little bottom.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you stare at it? How do you know? How do you know? You must compare it to other people. How do you know you've got a small bottom?
I've got a small bottom.
Yes, but are you going to have a bottom off now or not?
No, I'm certainly not.
Don't pull your trousers down.
No, but in order to know yours is small, you'd have to have spent a time comparing and contrasting to other people's bottoms.
You know what a fat arse looks like. Do
you think?
Well, everyone knows what a big booty looks like.
But most men's bottoms are quite small, aren't they?
I'd imagine you have a little pert bottom.
No, you certainly can't park a car in the shadow of it. No. I don't tend to stare at it. Neither have I ever spent time comparing it to anybody else's like you. Do you work out?
Hang on, you're implying that I go around staring at people's
Not implying
backsides.
it. You said it, Christopher. You said it. You said I've got a small bottom, which means that you must have compared it to the average population.
Well, I used to be very overweight, and I never really had a big fat wobbly bottom.
Right. Well, that's rather good, isn't it?
And now that I've lost weight, my bottom is it's quite pert.
Oh, that must be. That's the most pleasing part of your body.
Oh, no.
But are you married or something? Do you go on
No.
dates or that? But when you go, is that so? You say, "Oh, I've got a." What stage do you?
That's what my profile on Tinder is just my pert bottom. That's no
It's just a bum picture.
She has pictures in different
charming.
like jeans and shorts,
That's
hot
sort of-
pants, that kind of thing.
And how well does that go down on Tinder?
Nothing. I've not had
Sort
one
of
date.
Just sort of swipe. Is that right?
A lot of strange, replies, but nothing
Yeah, there's a
really
shot that
fulfilling.
talks about your bottom.
Talk to me about your life, your personal life. You married?
I am married. Yeah.
How long have you been married?
We've been married for 3 years, but we've been together for 10.
10 years.
I know. Once had a client who cut his wife's head off, who got rather less. But I have to say,
Do you know what's scary is? I'm not 100% sure that what you just said was a joke or.
oh no, it certainly wasn't. No, I was good when I used to practice. But you see, I don't.
Judge, sorry, 1 second.
Yes.
What do I call you, by the way? What?
Oh, judge is fine. Yeah,
Yeah, but you're not a judge. What do I call?
Robert. Is
Robert.
Fine. Yes.
Robert.
Yeah.
Not Rob. Not Bobby.
Well, you could call me Bobby.
What do your friends call you?
Well, it depends how much I've upset them. But I'd say Rob. Actually,
What can I call
you
you?
can call me Rob.
I like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've shared an intimate secret, so,
So, Rob.
At this stage, I know the size of your bottom. I think it's only right you should call me Rob.
And listen,
actually,
by the way,
Bobby, I
the
suppose.
interview's not over. There's many sizes and many things to discover before
There you
the
are.
end.
Yeah.
So you, I can't remember which bit I wanted
You
to
were
pick up
asking
on.
me about how long I'd been married, and I told you.
Yes.
Really, I suppose it's 10 years, yeah.
10 years.
I know.
And do you keep your other half in the shadows?
No, I think he keeps himself happily in the shadows. I tend not to talk about him. And it's not, I'm not really big on people who put themselves in the public eye and then complain when, the press want to write stories about them. It seems to me, and
But it's
I've
your
worked all
private
over the
life.
world, including in places like Sierra Leone, and just living in this country, we are enormously privileged. And you're even more privileged to do this job. I was outside, we were talking outside about how this job, being involved in the media, can really interfere with your moral chemistry, people running after you to get coffee and that sort of thing. When I worked doing really serious cases, you'd be lucky, including, as I say, in Sierra Leone, you'd be lucky for someone to make you a cup of tea. All of a sudden, you show up to do television, you've got people running after you.
But do you not love that? Do you
No,
not, you
I
should-
don't. I think
Why?
it's really damaging. After sort of 3 weeks, one starts turning into Kim Jong-un. It's just a bad idea.
That's
It
a great-
interferes with your...
What a great quote.
You need to kind of, keep that in check.
But a little bit of you must love that. Of course, because you...
Really, I've always imagined that people are running after me, even if I didn't want it. But I don't talk about him because, he's a very serious person. And
Yeah.
so the problem is if you Google me, he's entitled to his own privacy. And,
Sure.
He's a lawyer and has serious clients, and the last thing he needs is the first thing to come up is me. Those are my choices, not his.
How does he feel? You don't need to tell me too much about him.
No.
I get that. But how does he feel? Do you have a scenario where you're both... This is what I imagine. You're getting ready to go to bed. You're taking off your silk gown, because that's what I imagine you wear. and
Where do you think this is? You've got sort of like a 1970s mildly camp vision
But
of
you
sort
have-
of going to bed.
But it's your voice.
You're more likely to have a silk gown. You're the one that sort of admires bottoms. Actually, what do you mean?
I think we've probably both admired our fair share of bottoms through
silk
the
gown.
years.
All right, so okay, go on. I'm in a silk gown.
And then he's
Right.
getting into bed, and I've no
Right.
idea where he's from or what accent he is. But let's just
Right.
put it like yours. And as he's getting into bed, both sides, big king
Yeah.
bed, right? Full poster. That's what I hear.
Full poster.
Of course. Listen, your voice is not a.
You're not even funny. This is a sort of a gay Jackie Collins novel.
And you go,
Yes.
how was work today? And he goes, yes, it was fine. It's a very serious case. And
Yes.
it's going to take a while, but we're very, very happy with the research we've come up with so far and everything. And he goes, reluctantly, he goes, and how was your work today? And you go, good. Some big fat chav came in who wanted a DVD player back, and he rolls his eyes. He rolls his eyes and goes, what have you become?
No, shockingly enough, not a single part of that narrative has ever taken place. I'm more alarmed that you think that I've got such a sort of crass sense of interior decoration.
I've got a four-poster bed.
Oh, grotesque.
That's dead posh, that.
No, it isn't.
It is.
Where have you been? What sort of
but you are very posh. Let me ask you this
sort of
question.
sound pop.
Let me ask you one question.
No, hang on a second. You can't ask me the next question. I was going to ask you, do I say that? No, sometimes I laugh, certainly, at some of the cases that we've had. I mean, certainly it was funny when I want to be absolutely clear to all of your listeners. The cases are 100% authentic. You know this, I'm sure.
The rulings are binding.
They're binding and final, but also broadcasting across the board is absolutely regulated. So if we say that they are authentic and true, they have to be, and they are. And sometimes, of course, they're surprising. So undoubtedly, leaving that scenario aside, I might come in and over dinner describe how I dealt with a case where two people suing each other over a penis tattoo. One of them got terribly drunk. They entered into a contract, absolutely real for charity, that they would draw a penis tattoo on their leg.
Right.
His girlfriend had bought him a second-hand penis, not a second-hand penis, a second-hand tattoo gun for his birthday. Now, let's pause and unpack that. What sort of moron do you have to be to buy somebody a second-hand, not even a second-hand tattoo gun? If you're thinking about buying that for anybody and you're listening to this, you are a moron. And they did it on. They started. The other one was drunk, and he sobered up, and he stopped as soon as he saw.
Sure.
And then he sued the other person for breach of contract. Now, obviously, and I rarely use that word. It does annoy me when people say basically and obviously. Obviously, that's funny, and I do sometimes share that. What was going to be your next question? You've forgotten it.
No, I just like
a little bit. Now.
I just like the idea that you and your husband at some point will be on holiday in the Maldives, lying next to each other. And it'll be
what sort of view of me have you got?
And you'll be there going, if it wasn't for the people with the penis tattoo, we wouldn't be here.
No, again, we've not had that conversation.
Well, you don't go to Blackpool. Okay, let's find.
No, but neither do you go to Blackpool.
I don't mind a bit of Blackpool.
I've been there twice, actually, both times on purpose. When was the last time you holidayed in Blackpool?
Holidayed in Blackpool?
Yes, so you say don't go to Blackpool. When was the last time you holidayed in Blackpool?
Like many years ago.
Okay, when was the last time you stayed in a place which had a little neon sign outside which said vacancies?
Oh, I would have been a child.
No, exactly so.
But then my mum was a snob, and my mum was like,
"Oh no, we were."
No.
Oh, right, she wouldn't stay anywhere.
No. My dad loves a day trip or a little trip away in the car.
Yeah.
My dad loves that, and then my mum would go, "Yeah, great." So we'd all go away. We've been known to walk into places and stop and realise mum's stood at the door,
right,
going, "I'm not eating in here. I'm not eating."
Oh, she and I would get on.
Oh, terrible working class snob, my mother.
Yeah, well, that's sort of
which is where I get it from. And
are you working class snob?
It's a terrible mixture, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's sort of class system, isn't it, in this country? Sort of various things. People look down on people, which I think is rather awful. I want to be clear about this. You keep going on about chavs. I really don't. You're obsessed with chavs.
I mentioned it once. You keep going on about it.
I grew up, in a mix of my dad is from, I suppose, one background, and my mum is a very successful woman, is from another. And I genuinely, because of that, I think to an important extent, aren't really affected by that sort of thing. I only judge people on what they do and not what their background is. I'm utterly indifferent towards people's backgrounds. Some of the poshest people I met are the most stupid. Some of the most educated people I met are equally the thickest and make the most ridiculous choices. And, some people, frankly, who have come from challenging backgrounds are the brightest. I have to say, including some of my clients in the past who've made some rather stupid choices.
You've been very serious.
I know. God, I'm boring. Do apologise.
Fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Sorry.
Do you have brothers and sisters? Do you have family?
Yeah, of course I have family.
Well, I don't know.
You
could be a spoiled only child. I don't know.
Yeah, if you have family.
And do they all speak correctly like you?
Well, no, my brother, who I hope is listening, big fan of yours. He's a city trader. He's called Craig.
Craig.
He's a big Tottenham Hotspur fan. No, he certainly doesn't. But then I think.
Can you do an impression of your brother Craig?
Craig.
That's a yes.
Yes, certainly. I mean, what? But all of his friends have grown up together. All of them, they've been friends since they were 4. And I just don't really understand what they say to each other. They're all, successful people, have all had kids at the same time. And it seems to me they sort of communicate through the medium of Neolithic grunt. So they've known each other forever and they go, you all right? How you doing? Yeah. But right? Yeah. That's kids. Yeah. Right.
Hang on. Now, that makes the question.
But I think men don't really talk to each other in their way.
When you were younger, did you talk like
That's
that?
a really good question. I know. No, I think I no. I mean, I come from Southgate, same background. And in fact, my father is still friends with, from the same school, in fact, although I'm a lot older than her, is Amy Winehouse.
Right.
And that's part of London I come from. I just, no, I think I was sort of always different, a bit like a sort of giraffe in a family of other creatures. But my brother definitely doesn't sound like me.
He's like my brother.
Yes.
Really? Is your brother super posh? I'm not posh.
My brother will say, no, I speak correctly, is what my brother will say.
Oh, right.
He speaks correctly. My dad has got a broad Leeds accent. My mum's got a Dublin accent. I've got this accent, and my brother speaks like this.
But you sound quite London now. Is that sort of slightly traitory?
Get out! Get out of my court!
But when you go back...
How bloody dare you come in here with the hoity-toity
Well, that's what you sound like.
Oh, you're all posh.
When you go up
I bet you get out the bath for a pee, don't you? I bet you're that posh. You don't even lie in it. You don't even lie in it. I bet you don't share the water. Ooh!
I don't even know what happened there. But I do think
body experience.
Do you? Yes, but presumably when you go up to Leeds, people think that you've gone a bit.
Of course. Down here, I've got a northern accent, and when I go back home, I've got a southern accent. You can never win.
Yeah, no, I suppose that's true. Yeah, people want you to be a certain way. Yeah. I mean, the most important. I met a 70-year-old recently who said something like, "You seem a little bit worried about what people think of you. Surely the only thing that matters is what you think of them. Don't you think that's right?" Not true. You don't think that?
I don't know.
Well, I do. Anyway, I was only mildly interested in what you thought, but I just I thought I'd ask anyway.
Are you, obviously you're coming, you've been doing the TV show, 2 years, just over 2 years?
Yeah.
About 2 years now.
That's right.
And we were talking about the fame and the limelight thing. Do you find it bizarre now that you mentioned once Benedict Cumberbatch's name, and then it's now stuck to you with glue? So
I didn't actually.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I didn't. When we got married, somebody posted it on a public Facebook site, and I didn't really know the implications of that. Genuinely, it was a completely private thing, and it went across the world. But actually, I don't think I've ever really commented or spoken about any private friendships I've got. And actually, again, it goes back to my partner. The reason being that when you do your evening research on the internet.
Sure. Thanks.
Unless it's good, you've got to be very dexterous with the one hand, I suppose. The challenging thing is that you have to. I think when you do that research, what happens is that people's names are generated, like my partner, for example.
Right.
And so the reason I don't talk about my private friends, like, for example, Benedict, is because then what happens is that, unearthed is my partner's private life, and who wants to keep it private. So that's why.
Well, listen, I won't pry, but send our love to your wife and the children, and you want to keep it private.
You can't say that. It's not right. People get upset with you.
With what?
His wife and children.
No, your wife and children, your secret partner. You don't want us to talk about her. I understand that.
Yes, that would be true.
Yeah, you got to.
I do have a dog.
Quiet. You do?
Yes.
Is it a little small dog?
What have you got against small dogs?
It's just a stereotype. You've got a little small yappy
I'm not
dog.
a stereotype. What a yappy dog.
What is it?
It's a French bulldog.
Oh, they're quite big, aren't they?
Yeah, no, he's splendid.
Wow.
Are you going to talk about my new series on Monday?
I am.
I'm very excited.
We've got to take a break. What do you want to do? What time does the judge?
No, I'm enjoying it.
Need to budge.
He has got to leave shortly.
Oh, why?
I think we should
it.
take a break
and then come back
and then come back. I'm just seeing if anyone's after you, and then just do some on the new series.
No one's going to drag him out.
Either way, Anthony Kiedis has arrived.
Oh, are you aware of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, the band? Yes, you are. Come on.
Yeah, only because I think Howard Stern said, but I don't know. That's probably not. He's probably super famous, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll fill you in. Let's do the ads, and then I want to come back and talk about the show because actually, Judge Rinder is here to talk about another show, Judge Rinder's Crime Stories. So let's take a break. We'll come back. It's 20 to 9.
The Chris Moyles Show.
Bye.
Let's get back to the Chris Moyles Show. Radio X.
and there's just loads of pictures. And as you can see,
We're on the radio.
If you click on the pert category.
Okay,
What?
we're on the radio now.
Right, welcome back. Here we are with Judge Robert Rinder. Unbelievable. So off the air, as soon as we go to the adverts, he goes, are we off? And I said, yeah, the mics are off. And he went, oh, thank God for that. I can't keep this voice up all the time. It's a nightmare, Chris. A nightmare. Oh, and the language.
The language.
I didn't realise it's all an act. It turns out that Carl here, Wayne, Jeff, is from Leeds.
Yes,
so it's,
didn't know that.
It's great.
Yes, that's right.
Judge Rinder's Crime Stories starts Monday at 2 p.m, where you explore some of Britain's worst crimes. Have you basically just gone through your back catalogue of cases?
No, I wish I dealt with some of my own cases, but we've dealt with some cases a lot. We've had a lot of cases that people will have heard of. The murder of Joanna Yates, the miscarriage of justice of Victor Neelan, for example. And they're cases which sort of really, genuinely sort of shocked the nation. And this is really the first time that the public gets to hear and unpack how the murders were solved. And in fact, other cases of bigamy and fraud, and which is important these days, cases involving miscarriages of justice.
Right.
What went wrong, how they went wrong, and, hearing from the police officers involved, hearing in some cases from the victims who've been, subjected to the crimes, the families, and I explain from beginning to end what happened. And also you get to see the drama as it unfolded, reenacted. And it really does look amazing. You get a complete insight into the cases that you will have read about, perhaps not really known too much about. I think it's great. I really do.
Oh, it's very serious. I thought it was a little fluffy daytime show.
Well, it's not. It's daytime, but but daytime. People that watch daytime also want to, I think, listen to the on serious thing as well. They just want antiques. Well, antiques can be serious, can't they? I genuinely, I think it isn't just instructive. It's dynamic. It's drama, but it's definitely something worth watching. And drama is entertaining as well.
Is this it's a weekly show?
It's on every day for 2 weeks. First
Right.
of all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So starts.
You'll
on
be
Monday.
watching, won't you?
Of course.
We'll all be watching.
I'll be tuned in.
Yeah.
You'll be doing what?
I'll be tuned in. I'll be watching, love.
I don't understand a
watching.
word you're saying.
Oh,
You've gone more
please,
northern in
come
reaction
on.
to me. It's like, I go, oh, hello, and you go, you what, mate? Sort of is almost...
You terrible racist.
It's sort of, you become, you've sort of become sort of more northern in reaction to me. It's like, somehow you're having some sort of reaction.
Listen, I can speak correctly.
No, right, so can I. Right?
Let's swap for the day.
Yeah.
I'll wear your little wig.
You wear a wig and I'll
go,
try and do
oh please, just. You do. If you ever watched Judge Rinder's show with the sound off,
Right.
What happens?
Well, it's always like it's like you're breaking wind, because when they irritate,
You're breaking wind?
No, you.
Oh.
When they irritate you, the people come in
Yes.
and they go, can I just say? And you go, no, just be quiet a second. Yeah, but and you waft, your nose goes up and you waft them away, and it's great. It's like you're in a room full of farts. It's like you're like,
No,
try it.
I'm so going to try it. I think everybody should. That's probably true. No, that's probably true. I can't, necessarily control what my hands are doing. Do you have that problem?
I can never control your hands. No.
That's a really good reaction. Anyway, there you are. No. The answer is I'm going to try it, I think.
Have ITV signed you up to a massive contract with a load of money? Because your show is huge.
How much money do you make?
Not enough.
Well, quite.
Nowhere near
It's
enough.
such a sort of vulgar discussion. It's not even because it's British. I don't talk about
I'm not asking
money.
you how much they pay you. I'm saying they
I'm
should be
certainly
looking
very
after
happy
you.
at ITV, but no. Who talks about money that you would want to have a conversation with? Imagine that. It's not just being British.
Do you have an agent? Do you have a manager?
No manager. No, I had to have an agent. I'm not entirely sure what he does, but I do have one.
Right.
He organises the diary and that sort of thing.
Well, they should be going.
He's very good.
They should be going and negotiating your deal for 8%.
I was a lawyer for a while. I mean, actually, I feel rather sorry for the sort of poor darlings that have to sort of deal with me, because, of course, they send you contracts and that sort of thing. I suspect I'm the first person that's ever been involved in entertainment, certainly in this country, that goes through the contracts and actually sends them back correcting the spelling. Do you know what I mean? I think must be.
Oh no, to be fair, you've never had a contract from this place. Good Lord. That's why the radio station's called
Are you
Radio
happy with
X, because that's the only name they could spell.
Really? Although I can't imagine, I read a little bit about it, I can't imagine anyone's doing a fun run for you, Christopher, are they?
Me?
Yeah, I can't imagine you're poor.
I'll give a lot to charity. Dominic, Pippa, Dave.
He's very generous, actually.
Very grateful.
Pippa is so lovely.
She is.
I mean, it's one of sort of life's charming people. She sort of arrived and instantly sort of lifted the mood. It's a really lovely thing.
Thanks,
to
Robert.
work with somebody. It's just not like that in law firms or
Really?
yeah, you know, nobody sort of, well, some people, but not everybody wants to be there as much, I think.
Are you happy to be out of that world to a certain extent?
That's a good question. Not your first good question, but it's a good question. And I have to say that, yeah, that's, yeah, I think the reality is what I used to do, and I still do to an extent, is really super important. And I think it's probably true for you. I don't know what you think of this, but I think, you know, if you're going to invest your emotional capital, your enthusiasm into anything, you've got to absolutely love it, especially as I was doing, where the work is incredibly important. And the instant that stops, it's time to rethink. Otherwise, you can get depressed fairly quickly. So to go to work, as I do now, and laugh, sure, I take it very seriously, but to enjoy being part of this incredible team and have fun every day and laugh every day. We had a case last week, which will air in the new series, where I asked a woman who was suing over loss of a tractor. She says, a very important tractor.
Sure.
I said, right. I said, okay. It wasn't but about £2,000 worth. And I said to her, and she said to me, she used to go to her hairdressing appointments. She was a hairdresser, on the tractor. Why wouldn't you? I suppose it's better than a Suzuki Vitara or a Fiat. And she said, and once, whilst I was doing somebody's hair, this woman had some sort of episode, and I had to drive her to hospital in the tractor. I said, gosh, yes, no doubt you were terribly nervous because the tractor is very slow. You worried something awful would happen before you got her to A&E. She said, she was normal. She said, no, I was worried that the cab would get haunted. I know, and isn't that marvellous? And it was so funny, but completely genuine.
See, these chavs can be quite funny.
She's not a chav,
No, I'm
actually.
just
She worked on a farm. Why do you say bless her? That's a very interesting... Let's just unpack that for a second. Why is it... I want to know this, seriously.
Yeah.
When somebody says something sort of more moronic, they're a little bit older, or you're worried about them for some other way, you know, oh, she swore at somebody and then beat them up. Bless her.
Well, hang on. That's
You know what I mean? It's like, in my programme, people are constantly turning round to each other. He turned round and said, why do people say that?
I don't know.
I'm going to... do you spend lots of your time writing people strongly worded letters?
Ask them.
I do ask them. They haven't got a good answer.
We've got to wrap this up because
Yeah, we do.
I know that I really wanted to meet Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's, for me, I know you don't know who they
Two
are.
worlds colliding.
They're an amazing rock and roll band, and a photo of you two in our green room together will just tickle me for the rest of the day. It really will.
What will tickle you for
Ask Craig. Craig will know who they are.
I'll get in touch with you. Hang on. What will tickle you for the rest of the day?
A photo of you, Judge Rinder, next to Anthony Kiedis, the lead singer of the band The Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, I don't want to interfere with something tickling you for the rest of the day.
Well, I'm sure I can persuade you otherwise.
I think you and I should go on an outing
Date?
to Leeds. Well, no, don't be so ridiculous. But we could go to Leeds together. That would be splendid. You can show me around. In fact, okay.
yeah.
Listen, me and Christopher Moyles are going to go to Leeds.
Sure.
On a day. Where would you take me?
Hey, ITV, if you're listening, there's a show right there.
Where would you take me? You
We just
can't even get an
met.
answer. All right.
Oh, I see where. Right, I would
I
take you
see.
to.
Oh, right.
No, I'd take you. That was.
Gosh.
It's a terrible.
It was all right.
Poor single.
I mean, you know, what with my sort of silk negligee and my four-poster bed, you can't think of a single place you take me. Like, put you on the spot there.
Well, first I'd take you to my mum and dad's house to meet my mum and dad. You got to have tea at mum and dad's house.
All right, okay, I
Right.
suppose. I sound like I'd get on rather well
I
with
would
your mum.
I would take you to-
Actually, I suspect she'd be absolutely thrilled. I suspect she'd say to you, lad, I know, you know, but...
She's Irish. She's from Dublin.
Okay, I'm going to carry on with this anyway. And she'd say, lad, I know but, you know, he is a barrister. I think she'd be rather pleased.
I don't even know what that means.
Yes, you do.
Right.
Anyway, this has been above averagely pleasant, I have to say.
Thank you.
It really
ITV on Monday at 2:00 and every day for the next 2 weeks. Judge Rinder's crime.
You learn
stories.
something, and it's great, and it's really entertaining and really interesting too.
And coming soon to ITV, Judge Rinder's Northern Tour with Chris Moyles.
I'd love to watch that.
Where I take him to Leeds and show him what interests me and what I think will interest him.
Yes.
So I'd like to take him to a museum or a shop that sells pictures. That's like an art gallery for us. And then, you know, those kind of things. And then we'll take you to the pub. We'll go to bingo. Those kind. What do you think?
We're going to bingo.
Yes.
I'm
Eyes
definitely
down
into
looking.
bingo.
Legs 11.
So good luck with the red hot
Chili peppers.
Thank
you. Thank you very much. Lovely to meet you. Come back and see us anytime.
I certainly will. This has been excellent.
And say hello to your brother Craig for us.
I will. He's probably listening on his trading floor, so...
All right, Craig. Thanks for listening to Showmail, Mucker.
That's genuinely what he sounds like. So he'll be thrilled.
Lovely to see you. Have a lovely day.
It's been pleasant.
And everybody tune into Judge Rinder. Well, you can tune into Judge Rinder today and then the new show which starts on Monday at 2:00 on ITV. Thank you, sir.
The Chris Moyles Show.
Buy a ticket to Citadel Festival with priority and receive a second one as a gift from O2.
Get it straight from Selco.
Selco.
It's where the trade goes.
Get a real deal from Selco Builders Warehouse on a wide range of trade quality building products. In June, get a real deal on the 780 by 980mm Axis 90 centre pivot roof window for only £99 excluding VAT. Now that's a real deal. See even more real deals and thousands of products in stock at selcobw.com.
Get it straight from Selco.
Selco.
It's where the trade goes. Johnston's Decorating Centres.
The Johnston's Decorating Centre Bonanza Sale is now on. For this week only, buy one, get one free on selected Johnston's Woodworks products. Buy 2 tubs of selected Johnston's Smooth Masonry and get 6 free Fat Hog Rollers. Bag yourself a Bonanza bargain. Over 190 stores nationwide. Find your nearest at paint247.co.uk.
Johnston's Decorating Centres.
What P was a policy missold to some people taking out loans, credit cards, mortgages or store cards? PPI, who T have helped their customers reclaim over £500 million in compensation so far. The Claims Guys. You might not remember that far back or whether you had PPI, but the Claims Guys can find out for you with their no-obligation PPI check. It's simple and it's free for your free PPI check. Text YES to 60777 today. The Claims Guys, the no-pressure PPI people.
With Betfair, betting on the Euros is as easy as ever. And now, there's even more reason to back Roy's Boys, because all new customers can get an enhanced price of 5-1 on England to beat Wales. So if you stake £10 on England, you'll get £50 in free bets if they win. This summer at the Euros, there's more to play for with Betfair. Tap, tap, boom.
£10 maximum stake, singles only, all winnings paid in free bets within 24 hours. Full terms at betfair.com. Visit gambleaware.co.uk.
MyCarMeter.com.
New tyres, brakes, or a service? Go to
MyCarMeter.com.
Type in a few details and local companies will bid for your business. Service, brakes, whatever your car needs. Just visit mycarneeds.com.
MyCarMeter.com.
Don't forget Father's Day this weekend. Luckily, there's loads of amazing gifts at B&Q. I got mine a Bosch 680-watt corded hammer drill for just £34. A great gift at a great price for a great dad.
Get to B&Q this Father's Day weekend and let's create more for less. Offer ends 30th of June. Was £45. Some stores excluded. See DIY.com for details.
Radio X.
News update. Next.
On 104.9 FM in London, online, on your mobile, and across the UK on digital radio. This is Radio X News.
I don't know where that other advert went. News update next, and then the news jingle
straight
played.
away. News update now.